can't eat.
There's something powerful about the journey of leadership, the daily steps, the long-term vision, and everything we learn along the way. Welcome to Leadership Labs, where we explore these journeys with the incredible leaders of Aurora Public Schools. In each episode, we hear from those who are helping guide our district toward Destination APS, sharing their stories, some of their challenges, and the lessons they've learned along the way. Today, I'm joined by Kevin Child, our Director of Safety and Security. Kevin embodies what it means to serve a community you love, from his military service to coaching, from attending nearly every home game at our stadium to delivering meals during a mass eviction to last week distributing turkeys to families for Thanksgiving. As an APS alumnus, who attended elementary, middle, and high school here, Kevin has returned to serve the very community that shaped him. And I'm excited to explore what it means to lead both with strength and compassion. So, Kevin, welcome to Leadership Labs.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about who you are, and then also what your role as Director of Safety and Security looks like.
Absolutely. Kind of a complicated question.
Both sides of it.
Absolutely. First off, Kevin Child's a very, very proud APS alumnus. Laredo Preschool, then Elkhart Elementary, East Middle School to Hinckley. So it's an honor and a privilege to be able to serve in this community. I truly love to serve. And that's something that I hope comes across in everything I do. But I'm just someone that truly, truly loves what he does. And in my day-to-day roles, it can be very complicated. We could be going from a bus accident to reading elementary books to students, to reading books at an elementary school. Sorry. And lots of meetings, unfortunately, but able to really, really get involved with helping our students learn what safety is and helping keep our students and our staff safe as well, and trying to be on the cutting edge of that as well. So it's been amazing to be a part of all our committees and all things like that. And at the end of the day, is a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. I shared this with you the other day, but you recently posted something on social media that really struck me. You said you cannot serve a community you don't love.
Absolutely.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what that means to you?
Absolutely. I wish I could say I came up with the quote. I heard it at a training that we did this past summer, and it struck me so hard that it's something that I choose to live by now. I truly believe that anytime you work in a community, it should be somewhere you love. And when you transform that working into serving,
that's right.
I think your days end up a lot better.
That was the key word for me, was the difference between serving and working, right?
Absolutely.
You can work anywhere, but you really need to be in love with the community that you're working in to be able to serve them. So
that's correct.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So you talked about being an APS alum, having gone to APS schools at every level.
Yeah.
Even though we won't say where you graduated from, for the purposes of this podcast, what was that experience like, coming to APS schools, and how does it inform the work that you do now?
Yeah, it's one of the most amazing things to be able to talk with kids about the same things that I went through.
Yeah.
My very first day on the job, I actually drove how I used to walk to school.
Wow.
Which was kind of amazing because I got to share that with students.
Wow.
I actually got out the car and talked to a couple of kids that day, and like, hey man, I used to walk this way to go to school.
Wow.
And it's to me, it's wonderful. It's amazing to be able to share that, but also to be able to let people know you've been there. And I know the hallway's a little different here. Yeah.
Right. You're also a military veteran.
Yes, sir.
Can you share a little bit about your journey through military service and how that's shaped your leadership approach?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was one of the grandpas at basic training. Joined the military at 29 years old. And that's something that you don't typically hear too often.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest reasons and my motivations for wanting to join was I wanted to do more to help, especially in our city. Around that time was the Aurora theater shooting that really, really rocked our communities. And I just wanted to do more, but I also still wanted to work in schools, which is why I chose the National Guard versus going active duty. And 10 years later, just recently retired, and it's just been one of the most amazing experiences. I had some amazing leaders. I had a former commander that just believed in everything I did, and it was amazing to be around her and to see how she led with humility, but that she was also a servant leader, and that's something that really stuck with me.
Wow. Relatedly, I'm pretty sure that when I started here in April of 2024, you were on a deployment, and I remember when you got home, because you walked across our little walkway here, and I saw you through the window, and you were in your fatigues. What was it like returning from military service to serving here in Aurora?
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I didn't want to go home yet. So,
You're having fun.
I really missed being in the office so much. I wanted to just come by and say hi to people because I missed being here. I truly love to serve, but most of all, I just wanted to see how things were going.
Yeah.
When I was gone, and but what an amazing experience! It was. It was hot, but it truly was an amazing experience. But I was so happy to come home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Was there a defining moment for you when you realized that you wanted to dedicate your career to keeping kids safe in schools?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say there's probably a couple, but one of the biggest things that stands out for me, say about 12, 15 years ago, 12 to 15 years ago, I met a young man named Elijah. And it was a special needs kid. I actually used to be a para educator. And this kid was the most positive person I had ever met in my life. And every day he would just bring joy to people. And I think at that point, I was a little jealous of him, to be honest with you. I wanted to become somebody that brought that kind of light.
Wow.
And so each day I have a goal. He passed away 4 years ago. But each day I have a goal to positively impact at least one person. So working in this job, I kind of get to cheat because it gives me that opportunity to do so.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then what did bring you back to APS in this role as Director of Safety and Security? So is it year 3 for you?
It's year 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always loved leadership. So to speak. And I've really had a dream of when I switched over to working in security, I wanted to be a director someday. A lot of people don't know this about my story, but so I applied to be the director when Greg Cazell got it. And so 8 years later, I got the opportunity and it worked out for me. So just something to think about, don't ever take a no as a closed door. And so it's been an honor and a privilege to be back here. And it just truly does mean the world to me that I used to go to these schools and now I get to serve them.
Amazing. Well, since you've joined APS and just the last, 2.5 years, this being year 3, you've implemented a lot of new safety measures for us, including the red bag system. Can you share a little bit about what that is and why systems like that really matter?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things in any active harm or situation in a school, the biggest thing you think about is how can we give aid? And how do you give aid to students in the classroom? You may remember Parkland when that happened, and just the thought of that in my mind was something that I was like, I never want to see that happen. I never want to see that happen in our schools. So when you think about what is that system, it's a stop the bleed kit essentially, but it's in every room now. It's in every lockable space. Not only is it that, but it also is a beacon of where their safe corner is. So now it takes the thinking away in a real emergency. Hey, where do I go? Find that red bag. That's where you go. So on top of that, it's also a communication tool. Right. So imagine being able to get updates, in a real harm or situation. So they scan that QR code, and then we're able to communicate with them during a real life situation. So essentially, it makes it to where you're not just sitting in the dark.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I think as a parent, I was just thinking about this, preparing for the conversation with you of, at the point of drop off, there's an immense
Absolutely.
amount of trust
Yes, sir.
that parents put into us that we're going to keep the kiddo safe, right?
Absolutely.
And from all the things, and obviously, you can't control for everything, but I think being prepared and having the tools and resources in place, that we do the best that we can to be proactive in the unfortunate event that something happens. But I think about it. I have a little boy I drop off in a car line, and I got to tell him, hey, when you get out of this car, it's a van. I drive a dad van now, but I say, you get out of the van, walk in front of my car, and because I'm thinking I can control. I'm in park,
Of course.
and so he goes across, and I'm watching him until he walks through the door, and it's 10 feet, but it's this moment every day that a parent makes this conscious decision to trust us. And so, I just thank you for sharing about Red Bag, because that's just one of many of the proactive response systems that you've got in place here. So
we owe it to our community. We really do.
That's right. Yeah. Your presence is felt everywhere. People know who you are because they see you, right? You're visible. You're at games. You're at community events. You're in schools. Why is that visibility important to you?
Yeah, it's extremely important. It reminds me of when I was a kid. I just seek to be someone that I would want to follow, or that I would want to look up to. And honestly, I got to give kudos to my team as well. They do a phenomenal job of getting in our schools and showing our students that we're not just there for the bad stuff.
Yeah.
We truly want to build positive relationships, and we truly want to be there for our students in multiple different ways, not just our students, our staff as well. So it was extremely important to me to be at all their games. I don't want to be somebody that just writes policies, and is not there to implement them. So it was important for me to be present, and it still is.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you about two moments that, for me, exemplify who you are as a leader. I remember clear as day last year on the first day of school, as you know, and as many folks who are listening know, there was a mass eviction at an apartment complex just a couple blocks away from one of our schools. And I remember that night when it was probably 10:30 p.m. when you texted to let us know that you had delivered the last meal. You carried up meals to every door, every home in that complex. And even just last week, you were out distributing turkeys for Thanksgiving. What drives you to show up in the ways that you do?
I would want the help if I needed it, and if I'm capable of helping, I'm going to do everything I can to do so. And if I needed the help, I would want it. I'd want the help. So it's just a driving force of mine. If I've got the capability to, I'm going to do everything in my power to try to make somebody's day better.
Absolutely. Especially in a community you love.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're a mentor to many. You've been a coach. How do you think those experiences inform how you think about safety?
Yeah, absolutely. Schools? Yeah, I think it's because you never let it go. I may not be coaching wrestling, but I still view myself as a coach.
Yeah.
And it's important to me to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to use those resources and use that responsibility, I should say, to help others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it also makes me think about just the opportunity that all of us who work in schools have to be and become a trusted adult, you know,
Absolutely.
for students, right? That somebody they can come to, confide in, look up to, get help from,
Absolutely.
if they need it. And yeah, I think that's another thing that stands out to me about you. Um, we talked a little bit about this already, but I want to ask you just a question about it. You know, there is a
Absolutely.
difference just between working in a community
Absolutely.
and serving in a community. What advice would you give to folks out there, leaders out there who might be listening about how to make that shift?
Absolutely. I would just simply say, working a job's never going to fill your cup.
Hmm.
It never will. When you choose to serve, that will fill your cup.
Yeah.
And at any given moment, just have that ability to put others before self. And I promise you, it'll make you feel so much better.
You
Yeah.
heard it. You heard it. Okay, we're gonna make a quick fun shift. This is one of my favorite
No worries.
things where actually I feel like I learn a lot about the guests here with this question.
All right. All right.
Where you know I some of the questions I've asked you about so far I knew a little bit about already, but as you think about just resources or experiences that have influenced your approach to servant leadership, what might you offer to listeners out there?
Yeah. Each day, find something that drives you, and for me, I listen to the same motivational speaker every morning. His name is Eric Thomas,
Okay.
and when you listen to stuff like that, you don't have a choice,
Yeah.
but to get up and go. And then I will also simply say, make the first step. The second step so much easier when you make the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about music? What songs would I find on your, most recently played list?
Absolutely, you're gonna laugh, but it's a song from Coach Carter. It's called "Hopeful" by Twista, Faith Evans. Probably a song that I'd say I probably listen to it every day.
Oh, good.
Not even gonna lie
Yeah.
on that. And then I would also say Nas, One Mic. Yeah,
Amazing.
that does it for me too.
Good.
Yep.
Good. All I need is.
Yeah.
I just because we're toward the end of the year.
That's right.
I told you I got the notification about the leadership labs.
That's right.
What was the most played episode, but then that made me curious. So I went into my own streaming service to see, who are my most played artists this year, and I asked my wife, who do you think they were, and she took a guess and she got most of them right. But there's just the classics for me are, Jay-Z's always in my top 10. Nas is always in my top 10. Chino excels in my top 10. And what was interesting about Chino, he recently has been on a couple of featured albums.
Yeah.
And so it said DJ Focus, but it's actually that's the producer and Chino was the MC.
Yeah.
So Chino was 4 of my top 10
Wow.
listened to this year, which is kind of funny. All right, going into our Destination APS lightning round. What does Destination APS mean to you as someone who grew up here?
Yeah, I think the first thing that pops in my head is respect. This city is absolutely amazing. And Destination APS, it just simply means to me, it's like, come give it a shot. Come try it out. It will absolutely probably change your mind on what you thought Aurora was.
That's right.
So it means so much to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come check it out. Stay a while.
That's right.
Take your coat off.
Get comfy.
That's right.
You're probably going to be surprised in a very positive way.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Yeah. I tell people about this space that I hope that it gives vibes that, home vibes, and that you intend to stay a while, right? So yeah, that's great. How do you define success in your role beyond the safety measures and protocols? What does it mean to be a successful director of safety here in Aurora?
I would honestly say just growing more leaders. I want. I would love to see more of our students going into the safety field. But most of all, I want them to see us as partners. I want them to see us as role models. I want them to see us as so much more than just a badge. I want to see my team continue to grow, and I've got a phenomenal team. I know I keep saying that, but I really do have a really good team, and they're future leaders themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Last question for me.
Yes, sir.
What advice might you give to others, either about truly serving their community or, getting involved in being a leader in the safety space?
Absolutely. Well, one of my biggest things I say all the time is hard work pays off. Never, ever shy away from the hard work, and selfless service. Do something in your life, whether it's every day, whether it's monthly, whether it's weekly. Do something in your life that involves helping others, and it will absolutely change your mind on how you're living.
Y'all heard it first. Kevin, thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story with me. Your leadership reminds us that true service comes from love for community, love for students, love for the place that shaped you. From delivering meals during crisis to showing up at every game, from implementing safety systems to distributing turkeys, you demonstrate every day what it means to serve with heart. We appreciate you. Join us next time as we continue exploring the paths of those who are helping guide us toward Destination APS. Until then, keep running your race with purpose.